Welcome to Expressions. I'm your host, Zoe Olivia, guide to the growth-minded truth seeker, leader of full life transformations, and a voice for peace, wellness, abundance, and soul-based, truth-based self-love. This show is for out-of-the-box thinkers, and every episode is designed to call you forward into your greatness, your self-acceptance, and your higher purpose, as well as supporting you in your awakening journey. May you feel energized, expanded, inspired, safe, and free. Thank you for joining me. Let's go. Hello, my friends. Hello. Welcome to this amazing new episode that I see kind of being a beautiful transition. Life is all about transitions from one level, one iteration, one cycle to the next. So I wanted to make a short and sweet episode about my name change from Zoe Olivia Mindset, which was the name of my podcast when I first started out, into Expressions, which is the new iteration of our journey together. And so I'm excited. I want to keep this raw. I'll probably be doing very minimal edits on this episode on what you're seeing and hearing right now. So let's just dive in. It's still me being me. So I want to start out by honoring Zoe Olivia Mindset, because before I even started the podcast journey, I knew for a while, I want to say like years before I actually did it, I knew for a while that I was supposed to have a podcast, that I was supposed to put my voice to my message, to my past, to my present, to my future, and to really share the things that I have experienced, my journey, some of my tools. I knew for a minute, so I knew for a hot minute, let's say, that that's what I was being called to do. And because of fears, discomforts, all that lovely jazz, I waited until the calling was so loud I couldn't ignore it anymore. And I had to face all of those things, face the fear of speaking, face the fear of sharing certain parts of myself, certain parts of my past, of my journey that I had not yet made peace with within myself. So it was really beautiful to be able to do that with you guys through, and I'm still, there's still gonna be a lot of that, but I'm just kind of explaining how this all came to be. And it was a very like homegrown organic project. I learned how to do everything myself, from the editing, the licensing, the graphics. I really fell in love with the project, and I chose Zoe Olivia Mindset as the name because in that moment, I was still very loud and proud referring to myself as a mindset coach. And that is a facet of what I did and still currently do. Very accurate for what it is that I was teaching, that I was believing, and that I am still very highly resonating as really important work in the journey, in the awakening journey. I think it's also important, and if you hear me and you follow like all the episodes, right? Or if this is the first one, welcome, right? You're going to get a little teaser of all the things going on, but I'm always essentially calling myself forward. I'm always expanding. I'm always changing. You guys are growing with me, and you're going to hear me call myself out a bunch of times, So when I first started Zoe Olivia Mindset, it was all about, let me show you how to heal and all that jazz. And I think the intention was beautiful and, in service, which I really honor and respect. And I also know that heal isn't aligned anymore, because I've since realized that there's nothing wrong with us. Like, we choose to accept certain stories, but there's nothing necessarily wrong with us. So I say all of this to say that moving forward in the podcast, with the journey of the podcast, Zoe Olivia Mindset, even though mindset work is important, it's not the whole, like if we think of this as a puzzle, this is not the whole puzzle. It's one piece, right? So when you think of energy work, when you think of spiritual awakening, there's several facets. There are many different modalities. Mindset is one piece. So I tend to attract in a client, a listener, a truth seeker who really is, calling in answers and calling in, making sense of all these things intellectually, which is beautiful and which is an indispensable, very necessary part of the journey. However, it's not just in the mind. And we don't want to think that energy is just in the mind. It's in the body, and there's a lot more to be said in that arena. And we will be unfolding that and unraveling that together in our journey. But I wanted to give a quick, little nod, a little hug to Zoe Olivia Mindset. I'm so grateful for those episodes. It was really an expansion in me sharing my voice, in connecting with you guys. I heard some amazing feedback. I heard a lot of interesting questions and perspectives. So I'm really grateful for that and everything that piece of my journey has showed me. And so now I want to talk a little bit about expressions, because it has also been a minute where I've been knowing that I love the podcast. I want to continue the podcast, but I knew that the brand that I had, with it wasn't aligned in the way that I wanted to continue. So I had this middle ground, this space where I was really sitting with, not the old version of me that it has to be meticulous and make all this sense. I was really sitting with listening inside, listening with my intuition, surrendering to where can this go? So I've had 1,000,001 business coaches who would say, oh, you make your client and you build it. And there's some sense to that, right? Building based on who's listening and all that jazz, respect, I'll always have a brand. However, I wanted to save some space for what naturally came up almost beyond me, right? Kind of allowing into the field, what is the new direction here? I had so many different words on the docket, words that you're still going to see in my offerings on my site, things like that. But when the word expressions hit me, because I knew there was a word, I didn't know what it was. I had 10, and then maybe 7 came to me, and I was like, I could make it work, but it doesn't feel like a fit. And then when expressions hit me, based on all of the work and, the journey and all the things that I'm learning, what expressions actually really means, I'm like, that's it. It landed, man. It really landed, because when we think of in our journey expressions is multiple fold. Expressions is, how am I expressing myself? If you're watching the visual version of this, I'm moving my hands. If you're listening to the audio, it's how am I using my words and my tonality and my voice and sound and resonance? How am I expressing what's inside of me? How truthful am I? How vulnerable am I? How intimate am I with you? Right? So these are all versions of expressions. But if we want to go a layer deeper, right, talking about all the things we do about physics and nature of reality and all that jazz, each of us here in this dimension are a unique expression of infinite creative intelligence, right? So it's not just how am I in this moment expressing myself? Am I doing an accent or doing some jokes or whatever? It's how am I showing up as my most authentic me, knowing that I am no better or worse than you, because that doesn't exist, but I am unique just as you are from me. So that's where I see this journey going. It's going to be playing with these things, playing with expressions and the different forms of expressions, things that come through me. May or may not have some guests. I'm playing with the idea right now, but right now I do want to sit home into expressions and see what comes through me organically, naturally. And I want to save some space to see how this lands, to see how this, works through for each and every one of you. I'm really excited for this next stage of my journey, and for everyone who's gotten a sneak peek, who's seen the content that I posted on socials, who's supported me near far. I'm really grateful for you. It's an honor for me to be in service. It's an honor for me, honestly, to show up in this way, just as me, and to be seen, to be respected, to be understood, to be trusted. So thank you for tuning in. I'm excited for the journey. I feel like this kind of like a serious undertone, this episode, but that's cool. Sometimes we'll be rocking a little bit more serious. Sometimes we'll be having more fun. I don't even know. I'm just letting it free flow, letting it all come out. And welcome to this next journey of me, this next journey of us. And let's get it. Welcome to Expressions, my friends. And I'm happy to have you with me. Wishing you a beautiful rest of your day. Pass this on. Let me know also on my socials. My main social, the host account, is at the Zoe Olivia, TheZoeOlivia. And I've since updated my podcast Instagram handle into at Expressions by Zoe Olivia. So you can reach me on either one of those. Let me know what you think. Pass this on to someone you think may be inspired or would really resonate with the message. And I'm looking forward to continue to connect with all of you. Sending you so much love. Bye. metaphysics and spirituality, energetics. What does that all mean? Life purpose. When it comes to why I have this podcast, I want us to go into this intentionally, right? So, in addition to popular demand, I have had friends, family, people on various social media platforms that have come to my master classes, my workshops, clients have said, time to get out there. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't know. What am I going to say? And listen, I'm just going to be talking. So we're in this together, you guys. I really do hope that I can share all of who I am, all the things that I've learned, all the things that I've studied about life, about the nature of life, the nature of existence, and what I know and how I've used it to essentially save my own life. And not only to just kind of teach in this capacity, but to really empower you guys to see that beyond just me, you have, if you're listening to this, or if you're not, but whatever, you have all of the answers within you. It's just facts. So many of us are so eager to say, oh, it's outside and it's, oh, why is the world like this or whatever? I don't get it. I don't know. I'm never going to get there. You do know. Stay with me and I'm going to have you see that. So I really hope this resonates with you guys. I hope to give you some clarity. I hope that you guys get to know me in this new capacity. I am super excited. A little bit about what I do. So I'm a life coach. So I've said that only 5 million times. It's really like, if I'm gonna be honest, life coach is the most normalized word for like my job title profession, I guess, but it doesn't even almost encompass all that I do and all that I want to do and I hope to do and the capacity that I hope to continue serving everyone that I work with. So, as of right now, I have open slots for one on one coaching, and I'll tell you a little bit about what that means. That is virtual as well. So, I have people in 5 different time zones now, which is absolutely humbling and incredible. I have also launched my first group container, Divine Life Collective, which just ended, and it was an absolute blessing, an amazing experience. If you're listening to this from DLC, I love you. Thank you for participating. It was just so much support in the community, so much healing, so much growth, so much love. And I'm honestly really humbled and honored to have been a guide in that experience. And I have a lot of amazing, fun things coming soon. So stay tuned. Right now, if you're interested in one on one coaching, what that looks like is meeting once a week virtually. I do right now hour-long sessions with my clients, and that may or may not, spoiler alert, it will be changing in the future. So if you're interested, please do not wait. Please, please, please do not wait. Go ahead and apply now. I will put the link in the show notes so that you guys know exactly where to go. So before I leave you guys, I want to give you 3 things to know now to begin to change your life for the better. Okay, so woo! I am excited about this one. So let's start from the top, okay? This is one of my favorite things to say, to teach, right? And to also embody. What you believe is what you receive. Okay? I'm going to say that again. If you guys have been rocking with me for some time, you know that I say this all the time and you have it plastered somewhere in your home. And if not, please begin to notate and plaster because this is really important, okay? What you believe, you receive. Literally. And yes, I could take this very meta and very spiritual, but I want to start out with just some basic neuroscience 101 here, guys, okay? There is a part of the brain called the reticular activating system. Its job is to filter out things that you're experiencing in the outer world to confirm your existing beliefs. Okay, so there is way more information in our reality that than we're actually perceiving with our senses through our experience. So this begs the question, what are we actually thinking about, perceiving, and seeing from the outside? It's a result of what the RAS, the reticular activating system, has filtered out in order to confirm our beliefs. think of it's like a little filtering system that says, oh, Zoe has these beliefs. And there's so many things out here. There's like so many different experiences. And we don't want her to get overwhelmed. So we're just going to show her the things, like a little algorithm. We're going to show her the things that we think she's interested in, AKA your beliefs, right? So people, this is honestly, this is the same phenomena where it's like, okay, I went and I'm going to test drive a Tesla and a white one, and it's this model and whatever. And now that I've driven it, I see that car effing everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the same exact phenomenon. So I want to harp here when I say what you believe, you receive. This is literally why I have a job and a career, because our journey, our invitation for this life is to literally notice where our beliefs are holding us back. Okay, where our beliefs are holding us back from the love, from the money, the anything that you can think of. If you want it and you don't have it, I guarantee 10 times out of 10, there's a belief inside of your brain right now that is pushing it away. Okay, so starting to get clear, and I don't mean this to like freak you out and now like everyone's like all confused. It's just an invitation to say, okay, I could take a step back and start to sift what it means to explore my beliefs. What even is a belief? That's going to definitely be a topic for another episode because I could talk about it all day. Okay. Another thing, which kind of ties into point number one, is point number two, which is you are not your starting point. Okay. So when I say starting point, all I'm referring to is where you are right now. It can be physically, it can be emotionally, it can be financially, it can be relationally, in terms of anything you can think of, especially if it feels icky and not optimal. That's a starting point. And there's a lot of amazing, valuable information in our starting point. So instead of, which is our inclination, our urge to judge ourselves and to say, but I don't have the money, or I don't have the dream partner, or the dream life, this sucks. No. If I could invite you to do anything in addition to starting to look at where your beliefs might be holding you back, is to say, okay, I can recognize that I want to be XYZ in that direction, but I'm going to take where I am. And if I can't look at it with love, which is a dream for Zoe, I will look at it with curiosity. Okay? That's number two. All right? Number three, if you think that there's more to life than waking up and like rolling over and being like, oh my God, not again. I'm just like living for everybody else and this kind of sucks. And I really don't want to complain because I have a roof over my head and I have food, but I just know that there's more. Let me tell you, you're listening to the right podcast. You're in the right place. You're home. You're safe. What you're going through right now is normal. And no, it doesn't have to be your life. So just know that I'm sending you an immense amount of love. I look forward to our potential podcasts together. If you guys want more, please send me recommendations, questions, reviews, good, bad, ugly, everything in between, to my Instagram. You can DM directly with me or a member of my team at the Zoe Olivia. So that's TheZoeOlivia. I do a bunch of free masterminds, classes. I'm about to launch in 2 days the Peace Challenge. So stay tuned for the next